Kono na kuyimsa bazanga koe akuyamba baba na bako wakutuza zero nziza kwebazawo bankwite kusima eri abalina emitima egirumirirwa bazanga koe akuyamba baba na bako wakutuza ekigambo okuyamba ndokizanyisa bangi babeera n'obusobozi n'ekibalema okukola bazanga koe akuyamba baba na bako wakutuza abamu bemulaba abanene munsi muno bakunyumiza gyavudde zikuba munezaaka bazanga koe akuyamba baba nabako wakutuusa abangi kwabo bafiirwako abazadde ku myaka emimpi ddala wamma tunuulira obulumi bazanga koe akuyamba baba nabako wakutuusa abalala basalawo n'okuddukira ku nguudo kubanga basigalawo okubayamba ab'ensamba bazanga koe akuyamba baba namwe abayamba mumanyi okwefuula eri abo be muyambye ne mubasimbamu oluseke eriyo ne bendabye abalaga okulumirirwa ne bajja ng'abayamba nga beenoonyeza byabwe
Oh yes, be thankful to whoever has been, in your life, and that's literally little of what that introduction was, the song behind us. And I would love to say a happy new year. This is the first show on African Reports, and interestingly, we're coming with the African Reports political lenses. Yes, the world is, turning upside down, and we're in this political trial, and then the world is just turning upside down. But the question is, in which direction? My name is aka Smoggy, John Remy Smoggy, and we are back again on African Reports, and then we are going to look into the African political lenses, and our area of interest is the Latin America, but showcasing the geopolitics of USA-Venezuela tensions, which might turn the world order if we are not very, very certain. I'm happy to have a guest who is always looking into the political lines, and he has a different perception, but it would be much more better if you, the listener right now, also you give your opinion on this area of discussion. And I guess by the time we finish or we end our discussion today, we would have picked something, a takeaway, and who knows, you may be the one to change the world in a better place or in a better position. Yes, at this moment, allow me to introduce my guest, Eddie Cool Ngobi, the man who is always in action. Last time, we were entitled to have a show, and he missed, having been so patriotic to the Uganda Cranes when it was playing in Morocco, that AFCON basically, when the Nigerians massacred us properly with the 3-1. The man became so emotional with his patriotism, and he missed the show. But this time around, with big apologies, he has surfaced again, but look also into the political lines. Bwana Eddie, to the viewers who have not seen you, just introduce yourself, and then, yes, we hit it again. And also, wish people a happy new year. Several.
Hello viewers. Hello viewers. I'm so thankful to all of you who watch this show. Some of you who respond and give us commentaries. some of you also who contribute to these discussions. I'm very, very grateful. I'm so humbled. I have a lot of prayers for all of you who are going through so many problems. I pray for Ugandans who are going through a tough time, especially these elections, where dissenting voices are being locked up, are being kidnapped, are being brutalized, where opponents, Robert Chagulani of MOVE, is being brutalized, curtailed from campaigning, curtailing Ugandans from listening to what he has to tell them before the elections. My heartfelt condolences to all those who have missed their loved ones in the past year. Even this, I pray that, my prayers also go to the entire world where people are busy fighting and others are being killed. Like Venezuela, what we saw recently, where a nation sovereignty was abused, which is threatening the world order. So we need to pray, all of us, everywhere we are, wherever we are. No one is safe, especially if we see what recently happened in Venezuela and what is going on in Uganda. So we're not safe anywhere. Anybody can come and attack you, do anything, whatever they want to do, with impunity. So social norms are at stake, and humanity is destroying humanity, which is very, very dangerous, especially to those who are in power, those who think they're holding the mantle. It's very, very dangerous, very absurd. People used to think that America had a narrative that used to shape the world, but apparently it has turned out differently. And by the way, this way some people have not been knowing. I don't know if some people have been knowing and refusing to accept. America is a very poor country, but it was very smart to put up certain laws, certain norms, to force particular norms to be acceptable everywhere, using their dollar as the match, as the mighty power. Anybody who comes to threaten it will have to go, just like we saw how, if anybody knows why Libya was attacked and Gaddafi wiped away, because he wanted to, he was fighting the US dollars. He wanted Africa to deal in gold, and our oil also to be dealt in our own money, not American money. And now, by the way, it's happening. Brazil is doing it, Russia is doing it, of course, Russia is doing it, China is doing it. So America has a problem right now. The world has a problem. And the biggest problem is that we have a leader in the White House in the US, a man who does not have an iota of what somebody would call common good for a community. He's a bully. He wants his way. He doesn't really want consensus. He doesn't listen to advisors. He thinks he has to run things his own way, and that is being very dangerous. You cannot start saying you're going to invade Denmark and you take away Greenland. Now that means you're going to go everywhere and take whatever you want. So it's going to give us a problem that every other country is going to go everywhere to say, okay, me, I want this, let me go. We will start fighting each other everywhere because there will be no direction. If you can do this, why not me? So we have a problem, and I pray so much that the rest of the world don't be so much taken up by Trump's actions. By American
yes, given that, Bwana Eddie Cool, you're talking about the sanctions, I think let's have a clear rider for this, and then at least we position or align ourselves well with our topic of discussion. Yes, to the viewers, those who've just joined us, it's the Afro-Dem Reports Lenses, and the question of discussion today is the geopolitics of US-Venezuela tensions altering the world order. So the question is, are we seeing this situation changing the world order? My answer is as good as yours, you the viewers. But let's have a rider, and then we come back in full gear with Eddie Cool, and then we see our area of direction.
We're giving them full opportunity to do it the easy way. And when it doesn't work, we'll do it the hard way.
If we can do things the easy way, that's fine. And if we have to do it the hard way, that's fine too.
Chemical weapons is a threat to the United States.
Fentanyl poses a chemical weapons threat to the United States.
Al-Qaeda terrorists inside Iraq.
Al-Qaeda of our hemisphere.
We can get rid of Saddam. It could really begin to transform the region.
There's an opportunity to transform the entire region.
Bringing freedom and democracy.
They are talking about stealing the Venezuelan oil at gunpoint for a period of time undefined as leverage to micromanage the country. I mean, the scope and insanity of that plan is absolutely stunning. So we learned a lot. I'm glad we had the briefing, but this is going to be a very, very rough ride for the United States.
All clear on my end.
Clear. Moving in.
Put your hands up.
They think they can do step 1, take out Maduro, and they have no idea what steps 2 through 10 are going to be, which gives all of us a great deal of worry. I asked 4 simple questions. How many American troops are we going to send to Venezuela? They don't know. How long will we be running Venezuela? Don't know. Unknown. How much is this going to cost? We tried to pin them down. No answer. What country is next? Unknown, but I was very unsatisfied when I asked them, are they considering going into other countries? It was really troubling. And last night, when asked, Trump told Americans he's in charge of Venezuela. When asked who's in charge of Venezuela, Trump said, me. One man, no idea, no plan. Whatever pops into his head, it seems, from that briefing. So let me ask a simple question. How does spending potentially years and potentially billions of taxpayer dollars in Venezuela put America first?
Yes, like I say, the world is really upside down and it's turning, it's turning differently. And the question at hand here is, which direction is it taking? Like I said, we're looking at the geopolitics of US-Venezuela tensions seeming to be turning the world order. But you, the viewers, what's your take on this? But with me, like I said, I'm having a guest, Eddie Cool, who looks at issues also in a different spectrum. And I love his way he had started handling the situation. But before we go ahead, I cut you short before I give you a rider on how we're going to look at issues. But I start by the simple question. How do you, Mr. Eddie Cool, how do you, summarize the current situation, the U.S. Venezuela relationship, and why does it matter for the global politics?
I think before I go to that, let me give you a slight background of this conflict. The U.S.-Venezuela conflict is rooted in oil, ideology, power, and alignment. Not a single event. It reflects a long-term struggle between sovereignty resistance and external pressure, now intensified by global power competitions. You know. Now, if you get that, then you can come to understand so many other things that are at play. It was all started in 1999 by when Hugo Chavez came to adopts a socialist policy and an anti-US rhetoric. Oil sector was nationalized. US influence sharply reduced. That was 1999. Coming 1923.
Well,
now, 1933, Nicolas Maduro succeeded Chavez, and amid economic strain and failing oil prices, now there were protests and political repression allegations. First round of U.S. sanctions. America was trying to find a way, has always been finding a way of meddling into affairs of other Soviet countries. But it only does that when it has interests there. And here, in whatever they've been talking about, of course, the guy has been a dictator. He has been brutalizing his nationals. There's been drugs. There's been what? But that is not the interest of the U.S. The U.S. interest was the oil, and then curtailing its Venezuela's alignment to other powers like Russia and China. So here comes a moment where we have a man in the State House who does not really think beyond his small circles of what they call right now. They call them pedophiles. He decides to go unilaterally and invade the country. But of course, there have been tension, and the tension has been about oil. America wanted to control Venezuela's oil, and Venezuela has one of the largest. It's the largest actually deposit oil in the world. So America wants to control it. It's been a long-running struggle over sovereignty, a long-running struggle over resources, a long-running struggle over ideology and global power. Now, this is affecting so many other countries, because now every country is saying, now look here, if America can go in and do this, who is next? Isn't America going to come? Everybody is scared. Countries are scared. Countries are worried. You realize that this one has exposed what America has been doing and telling the rest of the world that it's a superpower, that it's democratic, it respects human rights. It respects nothing. They are very ruthless. And it has come at a time when America's economy is hardly hit. America is very broke. They don't have money. And this continuation of other countries trying to liberalize their way of doing things, cutting off American ties, it has affected them so much. When Trump came into power the second time, and they started putting up those other to micromanage the economy of the US by increasing tariffs in other countries, dictating this and that. What we see that has happened in Venezuela is a backlash of that, because the US economy is failing. So it's going in to grab on the oil from Venezuela, just like they did grab the gold from Libya.
Oh, I think the internet is really doing.
Hello? Can you hear me?
At some moment where you froze, and then I think
Yes, I'm saying this is it's unmasking what the so-called superpowers does, and it's very weak. The so-called superpowers is trying to tell the rest of the world that's very weak. Because a strong person, you can't just go in there and start boxing somebody. You know, you tie somebody up and box him. It's the same thing that is happening in the elections in Uganda. And it happens with dictators. Now, Trump's dictatorial tendencies are being exported. He wants to dictate everything elsewhere in the world. It's either his way or the highway. He does not respect any world order of the norms that were set up by our forefathers. To him, he's saying that we want this, I want this, I want that. Here comes a question: if this man, Budoros, have been having issues, what happens to Nash? What explains Netanyahu the massacre that went on in Palestine? What happens? Netanyahu would be behind bars. The Americans would have gone to pick him. Why didn't he go and pick him? He's even been hobnobbing with him, eating lunch with him, eating dinner with him. You know? So this tells you double standards. This tells you how selfish these countries can be, and a human being can be, not only Trump.
But one would come to a discussion where he says that, these drugs were the major target.
Those ones cover up. Somebody somewhere in the election is talking about chaos, deploying the army, deploying the police, brutalizing people, talking about chaos. When there's no chaos. It's not about the chaos. Even here, it's about the drugs. No, it's not about the drugs. It's about the money. It's about the power. It's about the ideology. To them, to America and Trump, they think they should control other countries, and other countries like Venezuela must not develop and be a sovereign state on its own. They want to have puppet leaders there that they can control all the time. So it's not about the drugs, not at all. And by the way, if we talk about the drugs, Trump himself deals in drugs. We've seen these things happen. Yes. That Trump himself and his hotels, wherever, they are full of drugs. All those billionaires who go there, they go there to enjoy and relax. They go to the lag board, they go wherever it is because there are drugs there. Sorry, you have either my internet or either yours has frozen.
Well, I think really the internet is really doing injustice to us.
But you see, Trump is good. Trump is doing all this. He wants to micromanage everything. And by the way, he's also trying to play hardball in American history to see that he's re-elected. He stands up again. He wants to manipulate things that he stays in power. He's bullying everybody. Just like what somebody says, Trump can be likened to an African dictator. And one of the worst dictators in Africa is Trump. Trump is an African dictator. He's not an American president. No, he's not. Because if you were,
I think you know, we're missing a lot of the points from you. I think something's wrong with the internet. It's not really giving us a proper, you know, focus. To the viewers, I think you should bear with us, and then maybe let's take a few break, and then we come back in a live, a second session, and we see how we can better ourselves. For now, let's first end here, then we come back and we better ourselves with the internet. Otherwise, there are good areas my brother is trying to enlighten us, but we're being challenged with the internet. So let's come back in a full gear. For now, let's end this live, and then we'll come back in the second episode. Please don't go away. We are coming back in full gear.
Omwebazangako eyakuyamba munnange nakukwata ku mukono nakuyimusa. Omwebazangako eyakuyamba baba nabako wakutuza. Era nzize kwebaza oba nkuyite kusiima eri abalina emitima egirumirirwa. Omwebazangako eyakuyamba baba nabako wakutuza. Ekigambo okuyamba tokizanyisa abangi babeera n'obusobozi n'ekibalema okukola. Omwebazangako eyakuyamba baba abamu bemula